Are you visiting or moving to New York City and looking for a good place to train aerial? Well, I live in New York City and I've been training aerial here for over 10 years. So today we're going to talk about all the studios here and which one might be the best place for you to train. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Laurie. Welcome back to my channel. As said, I've been training aerial in New York City for over 10 years. I train silks, I used to train hoop, I train hammock, I train contortion and flexibility, and I also teach beginning aerialists at Body and Pole, which we'll get into later. Now, even though I teach beginners, I don't by any means consider myself a high-level aerialist. This video is going to be less so for my professional aerialists out there and more so for my students. Whether you're beginning or advanced, we'll get into each studio and talk about what they offer and why it might be a good fit for you. Now, even though I've been training here for over 10 years, a lot of major changes happened during the pandemic. Some of the long-running aerial studios closed and some new ones opened. So I would not by any means consider myself like an expert of every single studio here. There are a bunch of studios that I see my friends training at. So I want to talk about those ones first because I don't know a lot about them, but my aerial friends who I consider very talented, I see them posting Instagram videos from these places. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about them and then maybe you guys can look them up. So the first one I've never been to, but I've seen so many awesome videos from is called Cosmic Fit Club. Now they are located in Brooklyn. And I believe that they don't really have aerial classes. They have more like private trainings, or you can do point rentals there. And I did look them up online, and it does say they have apparatuses, silks, liras, hammocks that you can borrow there. And I do know they have nice high ceilings. So this might be a great place if you are visiting from out of town and you need to get that practice in. Definitely look into this, especially if you are traveling with an apparatus. This might be a great place to train. The other place I've never been to, but I've seen so much content from is the Fifth Wall. And what I do know about the Fifth Wall is that they have harnesses. So if you ever need to practice for something that requires an actual harness, I believe they offer that there. Now, they too are located in Brooklyn, and I'm not sure if they have point rentals or if you have to get a private there. I don't know. Definitely look into it. Now, there is a newer aerial studio that's actually located in Manhattan called Pixie Dust Pole and Aerial. I have to be honest with you guys, I really don't know anyone who's gone there before. It doesn't look like their ceilings are too high, and I have no information to give. You can definitely follow their Instagram, check them out. The good thing about them is that they are located in the heart of Manhattan, which is so easy, especially if you're visiting and you're staying in Midtown. It might even be located near your hotel. One more major studio that I'm not that familiar with, but I know a little bit about is Strub. Now, Strub is just an incredible space, and I know that they do point rentals, but I also know that a really good aerial teacher that I've taken class with teaches there. Her name is Laura Whitwer, and she offers classes there. If you type in Aerial Silks training into Apple Maps, it is like the first thing that comes up. So definitely look into that because that space is incredible. The ceilings are high, and I've taken photos there, and I absolutely love Laura, so you can't go wrong. Now we're gonna get into studios that I know a little more about, but I don't really train at, or I don't train at anymore. The first one is Aerial Haven, which another one of my favorite instructors opened up a few years ago. Her name is Laura Haley, and the literal only reason I don't go there is because it's just too far for me. It's in Queens, located at College Point, but if you live in Queens, it might be the best option for you. So they offer both kids and adult classes, and they have everything: silks, straps, rope, lyra, hammock. I'm not super familiar with a lot of the teachers there, but I know Laura Haley, and I mean, I think she's up there as being one of the best teachers in New York City. I've taken a lot of silks classes and a lot of hoop classes, and I learned so much from her from when she used to teach at where I train. So I absolutely love her. If you live near there, I definitely suggest you take class there or go to an open workout there because they do have lots of open workout times. Now we're starting to get a little warmer and we're going on to Om Factory, which is a studio I used to train at that I no longer do. And the reason I no longer do is mainly because of the price. I think they are on the more expensive side of things. And because they are not just an aerial studio, they are an aerial yoga studio as well. They have less of what I want when I want. I do know some teachers that teach there though. They are really good. So especially because location, Om Factory is located in the Union Square area. So if you are visiting, staying there, or if you live near there, it's worth it just to get a class package and check out a couple of classes. I will say if you are a professional aerialist, the ceilings aren't that high. I don't remember the exact height. I know that they are not high enough to do a double star drop because I asked about that once. All right, we are about to get into where I train now. But before we get there, can I kindly ask you guys, if you are gaining value from this video, to please hit the like and subscribe button with the notification bell on. The notification bell super duper helps me out. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get into it. As I said before, I teach beginning silks and flexibility classes at Body and Pole in New York City. Body and Pole is where I started training. Body and Pole is my main studio. So let's talk about the pluses and minuses of Body and Pole. Now, the main minus that everyone always talks about is the ceiling height. So for Aerial Silks and Hammock, it does not have the highest ceilings. However, I have to tell you guys that for me, this was an incredible place to start training because they offer so many intro and level 1 classes, and it gave me like the time and the sense of safety that I needed as someone who's afraid of heights to begin my aerial journey. In terms of hoop, whatever level you're taking or whatever you're working on, the hoops are at different heights. So I think for hoop classes, it's amazing. Of course, it's called Body and Pole. So they specialize in pole, and they have pole classes all day long. Some are flow classes, some are strengthening classes. I mean, in my opinion, I just think they're one of the best pole studios probably on the East Coast just because they offer so much. But don't shy away from training aerial there. Here is my overall #1 reason to train at Body and Pole, especially if you live in New York City. They are one of the few studios with an actual membership program. So let me look up the price now. So their monthly unlimited membership is $545 a month. Now you might be rolling your eyes and being like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. But listen to everything you get with that. You get unlimited classes, and you guys, they have classes all day long. You get unlimited open workouts. You get unlimited BP online membership. So if you're someone that has like a pole in your home, you can practice online like till the cows come home. You get 2 free guest passes a month so you can bring your friends. You get 15% off a bunch of other things like class packages, student showcases, space rentals, private lessons, and merchandise. And then you get 15% off on elevated trainings. And if you are someone that's wanting to become an aerial teacher or a flexibility or a pole teacher, elevated is kind of like a mini teacher training where it's like they pack in all this information in like 3 days, and then you get a whole certificate, and it's something you can add to your resume. And it's just a nice thing to have and a really good experience to go through it. I can tell you, the Body and Pole membership is what began my journey into aerial and began me teaching it and starting this YouTube channel, because I was training here and there off of class packages, but like a 10 class package is like $400 or something a shot. And so I was trying to space it out, going like twice a week. And then when I got the membership, I was like, okay, well, I'm paying so much for this. I quit my gym membership, and I essentially just lived at Body and Pole, and I got so strong so quick. And really, that's what inspired me to become a teacher, and I owe so much to it. So membership, but say you're just visiting New York, just so you know, they also have unlimited class traincations. Sometimes they have specials, so definitely get their newsletter to see when they have special staycations out. I know for the holidays, I've seen $125 for a week of unlimited classes, which is amazing. So that's my body and pole spiel. I also think I forgot to mention they have a lot of open level flexibility classes. So if staying flexible is very important to you, you don't have to go to a separate yoga studio or anything like that to get your flexibility training in. Okay. The next place I train the most is called Aerial Arts, and I would say body and pole has more of a dance vibe. Aerial Arts has like a circus vibe. So if you are like, I am a lover of the circus, I would definitely recommend Aerial Arts to you. So the best deal at Aerial Arts is their 20 class package. It's like $700, which is a lot. I try and space it out because I do get free classes at Body and Pole and another studio we'll go get into in a second. The thing that Aerial Arts has, which no other aerial studio really has, or if it does, let me know in the comments below, is actual contortion classes. I am not a contortionist, but I'm flexible and I love training contortion. It makes me happy. One day I will be a contortionist, maybe, but Aerial Arts has contortion, but they also have like every apparatus, which a lot of other studios don't. So they have hammock, silks, hoop, trapeze, straps, rope. And they also have just stretching classes if you don't feel contortion ready yet. And they also have Pilates classes, which in my opinion is so important in your aerial journey to make sure that you strengthen the right places so you don't get injury. I freaking love Aerial Arts. If they had a membership, it might be game on because I love training there, but they've been open for years without a membership. Or at least as far as I know, they've never had a membership. So I get the 20 class package. You have 6 months to use it. They have other packages. They also have summer specials and other holiday specials. And especially if you're just visiting, it's a great place to train. It's also centrally located in Midtown. So is Body and Pole. Body and Pole's on 27th. Aerial Art is on 30th. Oh, Aerial Arts does not have pole. That's the one thing they don't have. But it's okay because Body and Pole has pole. Next up, and this is new, and I love it, and a lot of people don't know about it because it's new, but it is Levitate Studios. It is located in Harlem. It is like one of the only aerial studios located in Harlem. There are pole studios up north, but not aerial studios, and it's opened by one of my favorite teachers in all of Manhattan, who I've been taking classes with since I was a baby aerialist. Her name is Brenna Bradbury. She is amazing. And because she's so amazing, she went and hired all of her other amazing friends. And it's just a place of amazingness. And okay, there's so many things to talk about this studio. One, I love the vibe. The vibe is like super zen. It's super calming. They offer yoga classes as well as aerial, so you can kind of get both in one place. They also offer silks, hammock, straps. I don't know if they offer rope, but they do have aerial conditioning classes, which is so important. It's still new, so things might change. She did a trial membership for the month of January, which was 2 classes a week plus open workouts. And I don't remember what she charged, but again, the studio's new. I've been begging her to have a membership, so we'll see what happens. But the class packages aren't that bad. They're about the same cost as Aerial Arts, and you do have a long time to use them. So again, this is just a great place to train if you're in the Harlem area or Midtown area, because it's just directly off the C and the B train. So it's so easy to get to. And teachers, 10 out of 10. I love training there. All right, I have 2 places left. One is a place I currently train at the most. The other is a place I used to train at. I don't anymore, but I definitely recommend it for professional aerialists. So if you're a professional aerialist, stay around till the end, or you could still train there if you're a beginning aerialist, but let's get into it. So the place I train the most right now is, drumroll, what am I going to drumroll my head, is Vital Rock Climbing Studio in Brooklyn. Now, if you are just visiting New York, unfortunately, this is not the place for you. Even though the gym might have temporary memberships, signing up for aerial classes within the gym doesn't work that way. Also, you can't just sign up for the gym and go to whatever aerial class you feel like. If you feel like you are more of an advanced aerialist, you have to look up the level qualifications and then submit a video to the manager. You can look that all up on the website. Basically, it is a program within a rock climbing gym. So it is like $160 a month. And not only do you get unlimited classes, which we'll talk about in a sec, you get access to the whole gym. And not only does the whole gym have like boulder climbing and stuff like that, it has gym equipment. It has weights, it has treadmills. It's amazing. There's Wi-Fi in the summer. There's like a whole outdoor area. It's awesome. And yes, it's in Brooklyn, but if you live like in lower Manhattan or out in Brooklyn, it's really easy to get to because it's off the L or the G, and it's off the Bedford stop on the L, which is the first stop outside of New York City. So the price can just not be matched. Now, let me talk about the flaws first. The biggest flaw is it's hard to get into classes because the program is so affordable. It's full. Like, it is full. There's only 6 people allowed per class, and it's just a rat race to get into classes. Once you've been going to the studio for a while, you will develop a system. There's like WhatsApp groups, and they go, oh, I'm dropping this class, be ready to pick it up, and stuff like that. And also, I find that there's a lot of late cancels. So if you just keep an eye on the classes the night before or the day of, there's usually an opening. I know I've been able to get there at least 2 or 3 times a week. And even if you can just get there twice a week, that is less expensive per class than any other studio in Manhattan. The second benefit of the studio is that the silks are so freaking high. Like, they're so high. You're just going to get so much stronger, so much quicker. So when I first started going there, I'd been training at Body and Pole basically the majority of my aerial career. And I tried a beginning class there, which is not their first level. They have an intro, then beginning. I tried a beginning class there, and I was about to pass out after like 10 minutes into the lesson because while I had more knowledge about silks than the other beginners, I just did not have the strength simply from lack of climbing. You don't realize how important training on high silks are until you train on high silks. You just get so much more of a workout. The other plus about the studio is the teachers are just amazing. All the teachers are amazing. I know in order to work there, you have to have 2+ years of actual aerial teaching. Most of the instructors there have had more than that, but it is not a place where an instructor goes to learn how to teach. By the time they're at Vital, they are a seasoned teacher. They know how to talk to their students. They know how to give good cues. And I've just never really had an issue with a teacher there. I like all of them. You guys, if you're watching this, you're amazing. Shout out. Let me know in the comments below. Engage with me. But anyway, love Vital, but don't love it for if you're just visiting New York, because even if you're able to get a guest pass, you probably won't be able to get into class because you won't be able to sign up in time. But as a permanent place to train, it's great. Oh, one more thing about Vital. They only offer silks and hammock. That's it in terms of apparatuses. However, the gym offers spin classes, yoga, a bunch of conditioning things. So I wouldn't go there if your passion is hoop, but if you love silks or hammock, Vital is definitely the place for you. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost to the final stretch. The final place I'm going to talk about is Cirque House. Cirque House. I would not recommend Cirque House to you unless you've had at least a little bit of aerial training. And I will give you a heads up. The first time you go there, it's so overwhelming because you have to rig your own equipment, or they do have equipment you can borrow as well. But when I went there, there was really no one there to show you how to do everything. There was like a quick tutorial that they sent you, but it wasn't sufficient enough. And luckily, because I've been in New York for so long, I knew people there. So I was like, help me. I don't know what I'm doing. But in terms of like personnel that can show you around and really explain everything to you, that is kind of non-existent. But it is an open gym, open aerial gym with high ceilings. They have apparatuses you can either borrow or you can bring your own. They have tons of thick mats, or you can take the flooring off. So it's like hard floors. So you can practice like sear wheel or acro stuff or whatever you need. It's open 24 hours a day. I mean, if you get a membership, you have like a little key pass to get into it whenever you want. And if you do a membership there, that gives you access to unlimited acro flexibility conditioning classes at Warrior Bridge, which is located downtown in the Wall Street area. So when I did go to Cirque House, what I used to do was go take a flexibility class at Warrior Bridge to warm up, then take the train, go up to Cirque House and work on my aerial for an hour. I did it for about 6 months, and the reason I left is because I need to be in class, and paying for Cirque House membership, which for what it is, I think is really a steal since you get all those Warrior Bridge classes. However, I was then paying extra to take aerial classes, and combined I was paying like $600 a month, and I was like, I cannot do this. So that's why I quit Cirque House. The only other thing that was annoying for me is it's not kind of like directly off a subway. Where I'm located and where Cirque House is located, I would walk there, and for me it's like a 45-minute walk. Now I could have taken a subway to cut that time down, but for me to take the subway, I'd have to kind of go a little bit out of my way to go there. Anyway, I definitely recommend Cirque House if you know your stuff and you just want a place to train, and then the classes at Warrior Bridge are a plus. Or if you want access to unlimited acro classes and then you want to train aerial a little on top of that, it's also a great membership option for you. They do day passes and week passes and all that stuff as well. Definitely look it up. And that's it. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure I did miss a few things. When I typed in aerial training in New York City into Google search, there were a few more places that I didn't recognize, and I didn't want to get into them because I've never heard of them before. I think that between me and all of my friends who train aerial, the places that I mentioned in this video are basically your top places to train at. I could have had a brain fart and completely left a place off. Oh, and I do want to mention, I didn't really go into pole studios. There are other great pole studios in New York, but pole is not my jam. So the only reason I mentioned pole at Body and Pole is because Body and Pole has pole. But if you are someone that loves training pole, there's other great pole studios, so check them out too. Once again, like and subscribe, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Until the next time, I hope you guys have a fit and fabulous day. Bye-bye.